played by my opponent right there. Oh my gosh, he sealed twice in one night? What is this? Is he still streaming? He is. Alright. Did we get a dub here? Oh, Shadow Victreebel, dude, really? Come on, man. I know you got more skills than this. What you got, dude? Oh, that bad, dude, huh? Look, speedrun is fine with me.
Meanwhile,
I'm Caleb again!
Let's be honest, you never had the brain
What
cells.
the
Also opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis, opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis,
Why is it
opening
Caleb again?
parenthesis, closing parenthesis, opening 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 parenthesis.
Hey everyone, I hope you had a good holiday season and happy new year to you all. So some exciting news, I am going full-time content creation now. I have officially quit my previous job, so definitely look forward to more than one video every 2 weeks or so. So for a quick recap on what I used for Holiday Cup, I used Altaria lead with Unova Stunfisk safe swap and a Magnezone in the back. I really haven't seen too much Magnezone to be honest, but I really enjoyed using it in this meta. You could potentially use Shadow Magnezone, but I personally like the bulk on regular one just because there's a lot of situations where you're surviving with just a little bit of health, and especially against some of those Charmers, you do kind of want a little extra bulk. This team almost carried me all the way to Legend. I fell a little bit short, but I think overall it's still pretty reliable. Getting into this first matchup, so anytime you see a Vigoroth or a Obstagoon, like a pseudo fighter, you definitely want to stay in because Altaria has a great matchup there. It's taking resisted counters unlike Skarmory, which is taking neutral counters here. So my opponent here swaps Lapras, and against Lapras you definitely want to bring in your Magnezone because you don't have to really worry about shielding the first move. If it's a Shadow Lapras, you might have to shield the first one, but I just go straight Wild Charge because if you miss bait, then you're in a really bad spot. My opponent actually tanks the Wild Charge right there. And so what I'm thinking is they might have a double Ice Line at this point, and that's where Stunfisk struggles a little bit because Stunfisk is taking super effective damage from these Powder Snows and Avalanches, just like how Altaria would as well. But Stunfisk is quite spammy and you're able to get quite a few moves off. I probably should have thrown a Mud Bomb after they didn't shield the first one because they probably were going to shield the second one. So as you can see right here, I'm probably just going to continue to throw Mud Bombs at my opponent. And let's see if we get to the next one out. And then they bring in Vigoroth, hoping to catch a move, but unfortunately, I was able to build up to a Sky Attack. They have to throw right here, but now I know that I still can drop my move with my Stunfisk. So double Ice and back is a little tricky just because Magnezone is really the only true counters to those, but you definitely still have some play with some energy advantages, right? Alright, so again, Obstagoon, another pseudo fighter, works really well for this team if you run into it in the lead. If it's in the back, it's definitely a little bit of a nuisance, so you'll definitely see some of that later in the footage as well. Alright, so against Froslass, I just go straight Mirror Shot right here. My opponent does not shield. I shielded because if it was a Shadow Ball, then I would have been in a really bad spot. You can usually earn the shield back too once you throw the Wild Charge from Magnezone, and then I bring in my Altaria here. These Night Slashers won't hurt too much. If they get a boost, then that's a different story. But I don't ever shield the first two Night Slashers. You only have to shield towards the end if you really think you need it, because you don't want to shield an early Night Slash and then have them get a boost later on, right? So again, I'm going to let this opponent throw this Night Slash, and they actually shield as they throw again. I'm not too worried at this point because there's not much that beats a Stunfisk with shields down and with Stunfisk with the shield advantage. So I'm just going to charge up a little bit extra energy and then throw a Mud Bomb. Now I have quite a bit of advantage for what's in the back, and it's going to be a Skarmory. This is perfect. Skarmory pretty much has no play against Stunfisk, especially with the shield. But even if they land a Brave Bird at this range, you'll still be able to survive it. So yeah, so really solid. So let's go into some not so positive matchups, right, for the lead. House Stark, my buddy House Stark, very great battler. He is running Alolan Ninetales and he brings in his Shadow Lapras. Lapras is very strong versus Stunfisk, versus really the whole team. And he does end up throwing a Surf here. I'm just going to let it go just because he has a lot of energy here. And I'm going to shield this Magnezone. So this Lapras is going to do a lot of damage with the Surf to Magnezone. So I'm going to shield it, and then I have a bunch of energy here. This is perfect. So he's running double Ice with Dugong. Lapras and Alolan Ninetales, and this is really good because what this means is that the Magnezone pretty much has to play against the entire line. I should bring in Altaria here. The main reason is because I know this Alolan Ninetales can't build up to 2 charge moves, and then after that, I'm just going to bring in my Magnezone if they throw it at Altaria, or Altaria just takes out the Alolan Ninetales. So as you can see, Magnezone putting in a lot of work there. Wigglytuff, same thing. You need Magnezone for it. You always safe swap the Pokemon you don't really need as much, because you're going to hope that Magnezone pairs up with the Charmer down the road. So they're really quick there. If they're a little bit slow on the swap in with Victreebel, you can potentially throw 2 Mud Bombs and force a shield from them. So they actually go straight Sludge Bomb. That's actually really bad. That's just a ton of damage. And I throw a Sky Attack because I don't know if I can win Switch Advantage, and so I might as well chip away first. Unfortunately, yeah, that did a ton of damage. I just could not swap out fast enough because I was still locked in. So at this point, I just throw Mirror Shots, mainly because I really can't risk throwing a Wild Charge, because even debuffed a Steel versus Charmer, you're going to actually lose. So I end up just deciding to just Spark down after debuffing, and now what I need to do is get to 3 Mirror Shots, because that first Sky Attack actually did enough to weaken it to the point where it's within 1 Mirror Shot range. Luckily, I was able to build up to 3, and the attack debuff always is nice, but they needed to get to a charge move anyway, so still able to come back from a pretty bad lead. Alright, Wigglytuff with double counter uses in the back. That's really bad. That's really bad. You pretty much got just, you know, you're getting checked all the way throughout, right? So right here, I'm just going to build to Discharge. Discharge is more energy efficient. It's going to do a little bit more damage in the neutral scenario, so I'm going to go Discharge when possible. And most people probably wouldn't shield their Obstagoon at this point. Now they're actually within Mud Shot territory, or Mud Bomb territory, so I am going to throw Mud Bombs now and hopefully draw shields. I really want to win Switch Advantage because the moment I saw the Obstagoon, I'm thinking they probably have Vigoroth in back. You know, just based off of what potentially is out there, you kind of just want to predict those scenarios. And then as you can see my opponent right here, they actually bring in the Wigglytuff. This is good because they switch locked themselves in here, and then I bring in the Magnezone. I'm going to charge up to a lot of energy, enough so that I can throw Wild Charge still. They unfortunately get to a charge move, but luckily my Magnezone does tank the Ice Beam there. A Shadow definitely would not, or lower rank one. Luckily mine is pretty high rank. I think it's rank number 2, so I was able to tank that. But if you want to play less risky, you should throw the Wild Charge first, right? End up throwing the Wild Charge already against the Vigoroth, and they can see the match right there because they know they're quite behind at that point. Alright, Alolan Marowak. Really great because you check it with Altaria. You really don't have to even shield anything, and then they bring in their Charmer. This is great because now I can just take it out. They got attack drop, and if they got attack drop, you actually can survive if you have a high enough rank Magnezone there. Now that was kind of a risky play because if they didn't get the attack drop, then I would have lost Switch Advantage there. And it's the classic double Charmer line, so this is good because Stunfisk has play against the Togekiss because it is flying type, and these discharges are going to hurt quite a bit. They do end up shielding both. You could potentially bait with Mud Bomb, so if you fail bait, then you're in a bad spot. Oh man, they get a boost. So this is probably the worst case scenario here. But they are lower on health, so I'm just hoping to farm down. And as you can see, the just a few charm damage did quite a bit to me, and then they actually bait with Bone Club. It's really bad. So I decided to go Dragon Pulse. I didn't think I could get to 2 Sky Attacks. I actually could have, so that was actually a really close match that I probably almost threw. But luckily I was just still able to Dragon Breath down. So even after the boost, still able to come back from that one. Going against my friend Arrow, Legend Trainer, who also hit Legend with Litleo, so kind of a signature Pokemon for Holiday Cup. Very great lead for Altaria though. And then unfortunately, yeah, that was probably a misplay right there. I should have thrown the Mirror Shot a little bit ahead of time, so he unfortunately gets 2 shields from me, and then he actually shields here. This is good though because I earn a shield back and I can still take him out with that Mirror Shot. And then right here, I'm just going to go straight for the Wild Charge. If they don't shield, this is great. If they do shield, or at least back on even shields. So he doesn't shield. And then he brings in his own Altaria right here. So I'm going to throw the Sky Attack, just weaken it, because he definitely doesn't want to see my Altaria against his Litleo. And then he's going to come in with Dragon Pulse, take out my Altaria completely. This is actually really good. I was kind of hoping that he went for the Dragon Pulse, because if he went Sky Attack, he would be able to charge up a little bit more energy against my Altaria. But now he's in kind of a tricky spot, because these Mud Bombs will definitely hurt the Litleo. So I'm going to farm up just a little bit past a Mud Bomb, so that way I could build to the next one pretty quickly. and then I get to it just in time. I think he was probably really close to Flame Charge there, and if he got the Flame Charge, I'd be kind of in trouble because the Magnezone is definitely rough against it. Alright, Diggersby, another great lead here. Diggersby is kind of rare because it's a very expensive investment for Great League, but if you do run into one, very, very strong, very bulky. So I'm going to bring in my Magnezone right here, and of course have a great matchup against Froslass. They end up shielding, so this is interesting. So I'm going to shield right here. They go straight Shadow Ball, and at this point I just Spark down, have a lot of energy. So my play right here is actually bring in my Stunfisk. Now the reason I bring this is because if they have a Charmer in the back, which I feel like most Diggersby's leads might because they need checks for Altaria, then I want to save the energy I have on Magnezone. Magnezone would be very useless against this Diggersby with an energy advantage, so I'd rather just sack this Stunfisk. And they're not swapping out, which is interesting. So this is fine. So what I'm going to do right here is come in with my Altaria, and then they actually come in with their Ninetales, so this is perfect because now I have the Magnezone for it. It's going to do a ton of damage. They do shield, but I still get to another Mirror Shot in time. So had I stayed in against Diggersby, then I wouldn't have all this energy banked and be able to flip that matchup. Another ground user, Stunfisk, kind of a nuisance for Altaria because if you don't land the Dragon Pulse, they could definitely win this matchup. And Sky Attack is resisted, so I don't recommend throwing Sky Attack unless for some reason you really need to bait a shield from them. So at this point, they're going to just throw Discharge. It's going to be neutral. The issue is Stunfisk is just so bulky. And Altaria is as well, which is why the Dragon Breaths don't do nearly as much because it's more defense weighted. But I do finish it off, and then I have a Sky Attack right. So I'm going to throw the Sky Attack as fast as possible. It's going to be Skarmory. Skarmory is great to see because both electrics have a great time against Skarmory and farm a bunch of energy. And then here comes the Obstagoon. Obstagoon is kind of a more neutral matchup with Stunfisk. Stunfisk is on the bulkier end, but Obstagoon is bulky as well, and those boosted Night Slashes would not be good. So I'm going to go straight Discharge again. I know shields are up, but I'm just going to have to throw it and hope they don't shield too many of these. They probably will shield some of these, so maybe Mud Bomb might make more sense later on. I'm going to shield though, and as you can see, I'm saving my shields to the very end, right? I didn't want to shield early because if they got a boost on the Night Slash, it would be in a bad spot. Now they actually bring in Skarmory right here. Catching the Discharge is fine, but unfortunately, it just ends up then being farmed out. And as you can see, Brave Bird does a lot of damage usually, but against Magnezone, resisting it with Steel and Electric, it's even though it's a very classy Pokemon, Brave Bird just isn't enough. Alright, another very great lead. Shadow Victreebel. We hate to see it sometimes, but with this team, it's great to see in the lead. Alright, they bring in their Lapras right here, and so this is what I mean when I say you shouldn't bait with Mirror Shot, because if you miss bait here after shielding, you could lose. Alright, so that miss bait, unfortunate. And then I let this Surf go because I don't want double shield here. And now I just go straight for Wild Charge. But now, if they want to win Switch Advantage, they can. And they do, right? Very smart play by them. Because why wouldn't they win Switch Advantage at that moment, right? I bring my Altaria here. Ice Shards are super effective, but what I'm going to do is bring my Stunfisk after they throw a move. Because Surf does super effective against Stunfisk, so I really don't want to be in a spot where the Surfs will do super effective damage. So I come in and tank the Surf and then swap to Stunfisk. Technically, nothing on my team really beats Lapras at this range. But Lapras is a little bit on the weaker end. And then here comes a Lantern. This is bad. Luckily, it's a Water Gun Lantern, so it's not going to charge its moves as quickly. But Thunderbolts definitely do way more damage than a Lapras Surf would. And I go straight for the Sky Attack. I need a Beta Shield. This is really my only win condition. And I do Beta Shield and get to a Dragon Pulse. This is huge. He's going to do a lot of neutral damage. And I luckily get to finish it off before they finish me off with Water Guns and Thunderbolt. So I kind of played that a little bit poorly on my end. But I was able to kind of correct my wrongs. Alright, so how you play against Altaria Mirrors, the best way is to try to swap and catch the Sky Attack with your Stunfisk. Because then it's resisted damage, so I charge up to it. I unfortunately was not able to catch it. I think my opponent was very aware of that, and so that was a really great play by them. And then now, I'm just going to let this charge move go. It's going to be Hydro Pump. Because I'm going to come with Magnezone and just farm up a bunch of energy. I know they can't get to another move in time. And then the Altaria is not going to appreciate these charge moves. So unless they have a ground Pokemon, they can't really resist too much of this. It's going to be a Vigoroth. So this is good. I throw the Wild Charge right away. And I come in with my Altaria and throw a Sky Attack. Hoping to force a second shield. And I do. That's really good right there. And I'm going to shield here because I unfortunately only have my Magnezone left. And that's not going to be good. Alright. So here's my aggressive play right here, I decided to just farm down this Altaria. I have a shield. I need 2 wild charges to take out this Vigoroth. I really have no other play, so I need 2 wild charges charged up. And I throw the first wild charge. I know the Vigoroth doesn't have energy, so we can't CMP tie. And I get to the second one before they get a counter through and able to win that one. So you want to swap out eventually if you play that outright. I'll show you a clip later from my stream where I do that, but unfortunately in that scenario, I wasn't able to pull it off. All right. Going against a Froslass lead, Froslass is very tough for this team because your only counter is Magnezone. And if you bring Stunfisk in, Stunfisk is also weak to Ice, so you have to really kind of shield, especially if they stay in. If they swap out, it might be a little bit different, but they're staying in right here, which means they have another Altaria counter in the back, in all likelihood. So at this point, I'm going to just concede the Stunfisk matchup. I'm going to wait out the clock and come with Magnezone to start farming down. They have enough to get to Shadow Ball, so I'm going to shield, and they'll just probably Spark down from here. So they do throw Shadow Ball, so that's good, so I know they can't get to another one in time. I have a bunch of energy here. That's always good. And then I'm going to throw a Wild Charge. They actually don't shield, so I throw the Mirror Shot because this will probably guarantee a shield right here, and then I swap to my Altaria. And what is it? It is going to be a Wigglytuff. So like as predicted, Wigglytuff would also check Altaria, which is why I didn't swap out with the Froslass. I actually had to 2 Sky Attacks. I'm not sure if they just were a little bit slow on the charm, so they just weren't throwing as much because they wanted extra energy on the Obstagoon. And this is really bad, right? A Cross Chop would do it, and they throw a Night Slash. So very interesting there. I think maybe they're running Gunk Shot, which is unfortunate for them in this scenario, so able to finish it off. Had they run Cross Chop, then that would have been lost, right? Froslass in generals are very hard leads, so if you could win any Froslass matches, always great. All right, going against my friend Auburn. He's a local mine, great battler, always on the leaderboards as well. He's running Froslass with Vigoroth, and he actually baits out a shield of mine, which is unfortunate. I was expecting him to throw a Bulldoze. He definitely had the energy to, but he did do a great bait there. And then this is kind of tough because I don't really want to shield this, and I was going to try to Thunder Shock him down. Unfortunately, it was not enough. So here I just need to call the right lead, and unfortunately, he goes Obstagoon. That's bad. So I knew he probably had another counter use in the back, but it's just not going to be enough at this point. And yeah, I just have to pretty much just take these moves. He does go straight Shadow Ball. Very smart play by him because he knows that he doesn't need a bait with the shield advantage he has. Oh yeah, I mean, he'll just finish off with Obstagoon, to be honest. So he doesn't even need to shield this one. He doesn't. So great play by him. So yeah, definitely tough. But in this upcoming sets of videos, these are from my patrons only live stream where I play out some of the matchups that I was talking about that I wasn't able to screen record. So the first one will be the Altaria Mirror and showing you how to catch a move and what results in catching Sky Attack. And then the second one will be the Froslass with double counter user and how to potentially beat that team. I just think Magnezone's kind of overrated. Oh, okay, nice. This will be a good chance for me to showcase how to play the mirror. What you want to do is have sack your, not sack, but switch catch the Sky Attack on the Stunfisk. Yes, there we go, right? You can do it on Magnezone too, but Stunfisk is a little better as a safe swap in my opinion. Now you have energy banked on Altaria, and they threw a not very effective move on the Stunfisk. Now, why they're not swapping out here is a different question though. Why are they not swapping out here? It's probably not a Sky Attack, right? It's not the end of the world, but yep, Sky Attack again. That's totally fine. What do they have in the back? Do they have a Magnezone? I don't know. It's kind of weird that they haven't swapped out yet. Alright, we'll throw another one. Could be a Froslass. Froslass would be a little bit annoying. Oh, the shield. That's fine. Oh my gosh. I put them in a really tough spot right now. They have the double shield to win this switch, and they're already down a shield. Yeah, that's very unfortunate for my opponent. Even if it's Froslass, which, oh, what? Huh, it's interesting. Was that 3, 4, 6, 7? That's enough for a Shadow Ball. Is it a Shadow Ball though? That's a different question. Icy Wind, okay, that's not fun. Yeah, that's the GG's. 2, 3. Yeah, there's no way they win this. I have the Wild Charge ready, so even if they take out my Altaria with their Drifblim and farm up energy, still have the shield. Oh, actually, this could be kind of close. I might have to like spark down this Alolan Marowak, which would not be fun. Oh no, interesting. I need to go Mirror Shot here. They need to fall for this bait. It's pretty much. Yep. All right, that looks good. Oh, attack drop too. I need shields. Can't take the risk here. Oh my gosh. Alright, we're fine. We're fine. Good games. Yeah, I can see why they didn't want to swap anything into the Altaria. Yeah, I think them shielding the Altaria really messed them up a bit. No, yeah, a little over a month and a half. Yeah, I hope they don't reset it because it's kind of tough for people. All right, this is the hardest lead. Let's see what we can do here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's shield this. What, 4 away from the next one? I don't know if it counts that well, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Just gonna weaken this a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, this is good. Oh, Vigoroth. It's actually not too bad. So Vigoroth comes out. Is that Obstagoon in the back? Oh, they're just gonna shape both those here? What's going on? I want to have enough health on this Vig for me to farm down with Altaria. Oh my gosh, tell me I caught a Bodos. That would be huge. That would be so big. Nice. That feels good. This is fine. I don't expect this Altaria to do too much, to be honest. The issue is if they have an Obstagoon in the back, then I'm in a really bad spot. They have a shield advantage too, though, so this is not great. Oh my gosh, yeah, this is huge. All right, they have the shield here. Oh, they're gonna farm me down. They might farm me down. That would be really scary, actually. I don't think they. Oh, they did. I'm going gamble here. Oh, what? I have to shield this. I have to shield it, unfortunately. Yeah, this is a tough line. Even after catching the Bulldoze, right? Like, that's a really nice play there, but it's not enough. I need to spark this down, actually. Oh wait. Oh no, I didn't want to throw. Yeah, there's. Oh, they shields? What? Oh. Wait. No, I don't. It's not enough. What? Oh my gosh! No way. Oh wow. Yeah, that saved it for me. That shield. Wow, I didn't think they were gonna shield there. That is huge. Oh. Didn't expect that, but Hope you enjoyed this line, and I wish you the best of luck as we wrap up Holiday Cup and we're going into the end of the first half of the season. A big shout out and thank you to all of my patrons who've been supporting my content creation, and as I mentioned before, I'm now officially going full-time with content creation, and this really couldn't have been possible without the support of my patrons, as well as all my viewers and subscribers and followers. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like and share, subscribe for future content, hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video, and I'll see y'all next time.